if I may take up a few minutes of your time, we're going to talk about the Saugus High School shooting. Now, Danielle Harris, the actress, Halloween 4 and 5, the Halloween remake, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Yeah. I was fans of her for many, many years. I was on her Instagram page and I saw her doing a photo shoot. I'm like, who's that? I click on one of the women. One of her friends had a daughter that was injured in a high school shooting. And I actually unfollowed Danielle because of this woman's behavior. This woman is a staunch anti-gun advocate to the point where she will verbally attack gun owners. As a matter of fact, she gave me the middle finger a couple weeks ago. She's also a staunch abortion supporter, like 9-month abortion, taxpayer funded. Like, how dare they touch our bodies? Yeah, that kind of shit. She also supports transgenderism for children. And she's gotten nasty with gun owners. And when I say, I mean, like, repeal the Second Amendment tomorrow. Okay? Confiscate the guns. Okay? She's gotten nasty. There was one image where she took an image of a FFL who was stocking his rifle rack. And she captioned it, there was a shooting, these fucking will die, how free are you now? And I'm like, the guy's working in a fucking store earning a living, okay? He's complying with federal law. Leave him the fuck alone. I mean, High Court returns abortion to the states. She lives in California where you can legally kill your baby, you know what I mean? Hey, touch our fucking body, okay? So I actually unfollowed Danielle Harris. I'm like, if you're gonna be friends with her, I'm not following you. And I spoke to Danielle a couple times over the years. Comment here, comment there, but I'm like, no, if you're gonna be friends with her, I'm not gonna talk to you. And Danielle Harris has had a New York City concealed carry license for years. Danielle lives in California, but she's from New York City. She's had a New York City concealed carry license for many years. Okay, she had California concealed for many years. Okay, she carries guns, Danielle Harris. Okay, it's like, you carry a gun because you were stalked years ago. Danielle Harris has posted videos of her guns online. I'm cleaning my gun. Okay, and I'm like, you're friends with her? Now, incidentally, a pro-life advocate that I follow, who was a young mother, got pregnant, kept the baby, is a staunch pro-life advocate, went to that school and was one of those kids. Now, the school is called Saugus High School. It was 3 years ago, but the kids involved just graduated, and they had a memorial for the ones that did not graduate. This school, if I called them and told them there's going to be a shooting tomorrow, they couldn't have been more prepared. This was the most prepared school you've ever seen in your life. They had active shooter drills, duck, hide, conceal, run, evade, arm yourself if necessary. When the shooting happened, the school went into lockdown. The kids knew to hide. Some kids gripped weapons, scissors, chair, skateboard, whatever. Okay? All the classrooms had medical kits. In fact, the girl that survived, the actress's daughter, they actually pulled her into a classroom and used the medical kit to save her life. And when I say medical kit, I don't mean Band-Aid. I mean like a real fucking nice medical kit. Okay, like like an Army corpsman's kit. They didn't fuck around with that shit. They had an armed guard who was on the other side of the school. And the first responders were the armed guard who heard the shots and ran over, and 2 cops who were dropping their kids off, and in the commotion, they turned right back around and went back to school. The school knew what to do. Now, the kid, if it was a Parkland kid, they would have been on top of that shit. The kid was more like a serial killer than a school shooter. Or school shooters will, like the Parkland kid. A school shooter will tell you every single day, I am going to get a gun and kill you all. Like the Parkland kid. This kid was more like a Ted Bundy type guy. Like, you're a serial killer? Yeah. Okay. This kid, he was the Boy Scout. He was the straight A kid, the honor roll kid. You know, why can't you be more like him? I wish my boy was like you. Okay. He would have been class speaker if it wasn't for the shooting. Okay? Now, his father was a felon. And his father had several guns. He was convicted of a felony. None of his guns were seized. The father passed away. The kid was such a fucking sociopath. I am this wonderful little boy. You love me, don't you? Deep down, I'm going to kill all you people. Okay? Gets a gun from his father's collection. Brings it to school. Shoots 3 kids. No, shoots 4 kids. 2 live, 2 die. 2 boys, 2 girls. Shoots himself. Now, ghost gun. There we go. The original term ghost gun is from a politician in California. There's a fucking surprise. Who saw a gun and like, this is a ghost gun. 30 clip magazines in the fucking... Yeah, that was where it came from, if you remember. And then they decided to retroactively apply that phrase to 80% low receiver. Now, when you buy an 80% low receiver, you still need some machinery knowledge in order to get it to function. Okay? You don't gotta be a master craftsman, but you still gotta know a little bit. And some guys got an 80% low receiver, didn't know what to do, and fucked it up. And also, by the way, 80% low receivers, be realistic about this. By the time you get done buying the gun, buying the barrel, buying the frame, you have an 80% low receiver. Okay, you put in the jig, you make all the adjustments, hole here, trench there, knob there, screw here, drill here. By the time you get done doing all that bullshit, you gotta buy the internal parts kit, you gotta buy the barrel, the slide, the trigger. By the time you get done doing that, it costs twice as much as if you bought the gun off the shelf. Be real about that, okay? It's a fad. Now, maybe there's some really, really cool guys that can do a real nice job and turn it into a fucking custom, super duper Wilson combat style thing. Yeah, great. But it's a fad. Now, the guy had several guns, not just the ghost gun. And his son stole that gun. I don't know if he just said, I like that one, or if he said, let me just grab one. Now, water. I gotta go to work in an hour and a half. It's not whiskey. It should be though. Anyway, the question no one asked except me, because I'm smart. Why were the father's guns not confiscated? All it would have taken was, once the guilty verdict came in, was for the judge to sign a warrant, give it to a marshal, and have the house turn upside down looking for the guns. Okay? That's all it would have taken. He had a fairly good collection of guns. Okay? And like, well, why do you need an 80% low receiver or ghost gun? No. The question is, if he's a convicted felon, why does he have guns? Now, he passed away, and the kid found the guns in the house somewhere, wherever the fuck they were. But maybe that kid wouldn't have had a gun. Or maybe he would have got a knife. Or maybe he would have waited until this year, and when he had a car, and ran guys over. I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, if you took the guns away from the father when he was convicted of a felony, this might have been avoided. Okay? If you're going to put someone's rights on the chopping block, if you're going to tell someone that because there are criminals in the world, your rights are compromised, okay, you need to make sure that every single solitary thing that you could have done to prevent it was done. Well, we'll take your gun away, and that way it won't happen again. No, asshole. Okay? The father was a convicted felon. Take his guns first. Okay? Like, well, if you took how the fuck is taking my gun away, or taking Johnny's gun away, or taking Sheila's gun away, or taking Kimberly's gun away, gonna stop this? Okay? He didn't live with Kimberly, Josh, me, or Joe. He lived with his father. His father died, and the guns left in the house. Okay? Now, Barry, from Iraq veteran, who's obviously been gone for years now, he was telling a story with Eric, where attempted customer came in, show him the form. I cannot sell you this gun. What? You said yes. That was 40 years ago. Sir, have you ever been convicted of a felony? This guy was convicted of a felony 40 years ago. I don't know if it was credit card fraud or murder. He can't have a gun. Barry's girlfriend from like high school, which at this time I think will be about 60 years. Because Barry was 60 when he died, and he's been gone for over 50. Okay, more than 50. My bad. I suck at math. This girl, friend of Barry, had a fake insurance card. And the cop pulled her over, and now she's a convicted felon. She probably paid a $50 fine and gave a verbal apology to the court. But because it's classified as a felony, she might as well be a murderer. Okay? That woman is probably close to 70 now. She still can't get a gun. So if you're going to tell these guys that were convicted of felonies 40 and 55 years ago, you can't have a gun because of safety reasons, then you need to tell a guy that was convicted of a felony recently, you need to have your guns taken away. Okay? And not one person is asking that question. The question is, why do we have a ghost gun? Okay? Why do we have a pistol brace? Why do you need a folding stock? Why do you have an AR? Why do you have this? I mean, shut the fuck up. Okay? Ask a logical question. Now, politics aside, I gotta give this school credit. That school, that girl with it. Now, granted, her mother and I vehemently disagree with politics. Okay. Granted, she's more in line with her mother than me. Granted, if her mother and I were both drowning and she could only save one of us, we'd both drown because she'd be kicking me in the head. Okay. But politics aside, that girl's life was saved because the school had paid money to buy medical kits. And they brought her in, they did first aid, they kept her alive until the paramedics got there. She would have died. She would have had a 45 ACP round in her stomach. This kid, okay? And I don't want to see kids die, even if I treat them politically. Okay? Just because I have a political problem with you doesn't mean I want you to die. So I'm glad she survived. I really am. And I'm glad this school knew what lockdown was and knew board in, conceal, hide. Okay? If those kids didn't know what they were doing, that could have killed more people. Okay, so I have to give a lot of credit to that school. But I think other schools should follow their example. But that's a question that needs to be addressed right away. You have a judge, you have a police department, you have a parole board. You got a convicted felon. Get the guns out of his house. Because if you're going to tell me that my rights are up for debate because of some asshole did, then I'm going to tell you that you got to make sure the laws on the books are followed. No guns for felons? Good. That guy's committed a felony? Take his guns first. Take his guns first because he committed a felony on his own. Then you talk about what I don't need because you don't feel safe. Thank you.